Content, man. Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. Let's get into the content, Johnson.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
The Black Truth Challenge continues. Roland Martin, you're up. Roland Martin, you claim to speak for Black America, but why do you defend Democrats who starve our Black communities in blue states? When will you demand real economic justice instead of party loyalty? Right now, tag somebody in the comments section that's dodging the issues that concern Black Americans. Tag them right now. Hashtag Black Truth Challenge. Gotta use the hashtag Black Truth Challenge. Family, let's make this trend. Rolling. The clock's ticking. Answer us. Who's next? Tim Black Show. Out. Yeah, man,
Next
that's my
on
thing,
deck.
man. We the Black Truth Challenge is a new initiative we have going where we are taking time out of doing this all across social media, and we good. We're calling out the sellouts. We're calling out those people that are standing in the way. So far, I started off with Al Sharpton, and after Al Sharpton, I'm putting up polls, right? And have people chime in. And they suggested Roland Martin. So I chose Hakeem Jeffries, Maxine Waters, Tim Scott, Roland Martin. And out of those four, they said Roland should be next. The beauty of this is that anybody can get involved. I'm all across social media once again. Anywhere on social media, you can put who you think should be called out and why. If you want to get your video featured and pushed all across the internet, including YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and X, that's 5 platforms. All you got to do is shoot a 60-second video, and maybe your video will be chosen, and I will promote it on all 5 platforms. All right? Just you got to use the hashtag, the Black Truth Challenge. Hashtag Black Truth Challenge. All right, we got a new one coming in a couple days. So far it's been Al Sharpton. My one we just released today was Roland Martin. Who should go next? Clyburn? Who should go next? Crockett? Who should go next? Huh? Who? Let me know. Hashtag Black Truth Challenge. All right.
With Tim Black.
If you see such a need to investigate this, why didn't you raise it during the Biden administration? I mean, we couldn't find that you made any public comments about Epstein in previous administrations.
Well, I would have been happy to raise it then as well. Frankly, we were focused on so many different pieces, but I have been one of the Democrats that has been consistent on what I call out Republican presidents for and Democratic presidents for, whether it is FISA, reforms that we need, whatever it has been. I've been pretty consistent. War powers. I've criticized Joe Biden just as I'm criticizing Donald Trump. I think transparency is not something that should happen only when you have a Republican president. It is something that we need for both Democratic and Republican presidents.
So then why didn't you call for more transparency earlier during the Biden administration? I'm just trying to better understand why you are so intent now on calling for this.
Well, I think I gave it the same focus that I'm giving it now. We haven't, I think I've released one tweet on this and you wanted to talk about it, so I'm happy to talk about it here, but it certainly hasn't been the focus. I'm just responding to what I think is a massive switch from the Trump administration around this issue. My focus has been on the big bad betrayal bill, and I will continue to focus on that. But yes, I think that this information should have been released under the Biden administration. It should be released under the Trump administration.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah, man, I like this person. I've never watched this particular CNN person have this conversation who basically cornered Pramila Jayapal. Yeah, I like that. That's good stuff. You know, one thing you will not see done, you won't see Abby Phillip do that. Nah, you won't see Abby Phillip do that. No, she won't. Nah, she wouldn't. Hold on a second, Scott. Scott. Come on, Scott. You're beating the hell out of him. Come on, Scott. You're winning, Scott. Stop winning. Shermichael, you're winning. You're scoring points, Shermichael. No, Shermichael, no. No, Shermichael. Stop trying to win arguments. Thank you. That's my best Ivy Phillip impersonation. No, but I'm trying to say, man, it is pathetic that we got so many people all of a sudden so interested in Epstein. Pamela J. Paul never even mentioned Epstein before. Never even mentioned it. Never. And now, tweets, talking about it on the show, demanding transparency. That's what I've been saying about the Democrats, man. Look, if this is what they do, whenever they complain about people, it's worked for me all the time. Whenever Democrats complain about something, before you ride with them, you have to check. Because chances are they've already done the thing that they're complaining about. Whatever it is. They say, oh, Trump's tough on crime. Pause. Go back in the archives, you'll see they was tough on crime. Trump doing too many deportations. Oh my God, whoa. Pause. Go back and see Obama did more. They was quiet. And it just keeps repeating itself. This case, quiet about Epstein. Ho. Yep, quiet about Epstein. I'm not saying Trump shouldn't release the information. What I'm saying is, if you were in charge just 2 minutes ago and you ain't release it, you ain't pressure your president, you ain't suggest to your Department of Justice, your FBI to release anything, you had full custody of the files. You didn't say shit. Why are you talking there? Why are you talking there? That's all. And I think that's a fair thing. But see, we have so many people suck on stupid. The credo around here is that both parties suck. But for some reason, there's a group of people that are delusional. They think it's only the other party. And that's just not true. That's just not true, man. So Pamela J. Paul, you stuck your foot in your mouth on this one. You did a good job. I admire the way the lady did not let you off the hook, though. You know, I appreciate her sticking to her guns and holding your feet to the fire a little bit. Going back a second time. You will never hear Abby do that to a Democrat. She does not do that. But thank you for holding her accountable. CNN said, look, we got to get our ratings up. And gosh, man, the Democrats are so god-awful. You know, come on, man. They couldn't be a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. We can't. CNN's like, look, we broke as hell trying to cater to the Democrats and lose everything. Horrible, just horrible. So they decided they're gonna be a little bit fair, you know, on certain broadcasters, certain shows. I appreciate that, man. I do. It ain't enough, but I see you making an effort in this particular segment of this particular show with this lady I don't know. So yeah, maybe. And I bet you Democrats are right in trying to get it removed right now, because whenever you speak against them, all of a sudden they try to make your career go away. That's how that works. Yeah, if you disagree with them, if you criticize them, they want to destroy your ass. I know. They try to destroy my ass. I married a black woman. They're like, so what? She'll find another one. I got kids. So what? We got social safety nets. I want to build a career. They, nope, shouldn't have talked about us. We saw you laughing when we were taking the knee in the rotunda when we were wearing our kente cloth. We saw the video. You are wrong, Tim Black. You are mean. You are a Trumper. No, I'm not. I just hate you. Next. All right, fam. It's all good, man. It's all right. Oh, man. It's hard out here for a Democratic Party hater. It's hard out here. Next.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Mr. President, I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your Attorney General told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you seen?
No, it's not the Attorney General. No, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started, actually, look at the Steele dossier that turned out to be a total hoax. The 51 agents, the intelligence, so-called intelligence agents, it was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats. And some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net. And so they try and do the Democrats' work. The Democrats are good for nothing other than these hoaxes. They're bad for policy. They're bad for picking candidates that can get elected. Like in New York, we have a communist running. He may get elected too, actually, but he'll destroy the city. No, it's I call it the Epstein hoax. It takes a lot of time and effort. Instead of talking about the great achievements, we've had a great gentleman yesterday, as you know, went on CNBC and he made the statement that Trump may go down as the greatest president of all in the United States. And instead of talking about the things we've achieved, we've had tremendous achievement. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago. I'd rather talk about the success we have with the economy, the best we've ever had, and all of the things we've done, including in the Middle East. I mean, you see it. Instead, they want to talk about the Epstein hoax. And the sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people. Yeah, go ahead.
There's lots of reports coming in.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. Trump just kicked the back end of a lot of MAGA supporters. Oh, he kicked the called him stupid. Yeah, he called him stupid for listening, doing the dirty work of the Democratic Party over here. That's what y'all doing. Y'all turning on the orange man. How you gonna turn on your dad? Daddy Trump. That's hilarious, man. Yeah, Trump wants to change the conversation, obviously, because it's not a winning conversation for him to have. Yeah, he wants to switch it up. Now he wants to change the subject. We want to talk about something else now because it's not looking good for him. Not this particular topic, because he and many others were talking about Epstein. Now they got caught out there. This is what you call, folks, an unforced error. But here's the thing. They were capitalizing off of this under Biden. Many, but Cash Patel, Bongino, Trump, J.D. Vance, the list of Republicans that were talking about Epstein, and I'm not saying all the time, but enough. But there was some who talked about it all the time, kind of made their name of talking about what they would do and how they would run certain organizations and administrative posts if they were given that opportunity, how they would do a better job and they'd be transparent. And this is just wrong and this is all this corruption and yada, 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 yada. And I'm like, wow. And this is so... You made a gamble. You benefited from the gamble. Now all they got to do is survive the fallout. I think it was still, like I know right now we're still we're still behind the 8 ball, right? Like it's still out there. It's still going, right? But at the end of the day, I think time will show that they were right. And what I mean by right is they wrong, but they were right to do what they did because the benefits from playing it the way they played it, where they used the Republican base, they used all the corruption within our government, they used all the conspiracy theories, all the power of the internet, they use social media, they use podcasts, they use everything, right? At their disposal to be on one side of that issue and use it to their benefit. And then, yeah, there's a price to pay, but they've already benefited. Trump got elected, they got cabinet seats, or they progress their platforms. What's going to happen? You know, what's the worst thing that could happen to Patel? Cash. What's the worst? What's the worst thing that can happen, Bongino? What's the worst thing that can happen to Pam Bondi? She lose her job, maybe. I don't even think that's going to happen, because to do that would be a smear on Trump. But the worst case scenario, if that was to happen, she ends up writing a book, making a lot of money, playing victim, and blowing up more. I mean, I just don't think there's a losing side for the Republicans. And I don't see a winning it for the Democrats. Only the most brain-dead Democrats who don't know that Epstein's files were available to Biden and all the people, all the Congress people, all everybody talking smack in liberal media could have been talking about this 3 years ago and 4 years ago and 2 years ago and a year ago, but they weren't. So only the most brain rotted. And to use Trump's phrasing, man. Yeah, only the stupid people. Or the uninformed. You can have people that are uninformed who just don't know. And I don't think that the majority of liberal media is giving the full story every time they talk about it. I don't think that when they talk on MSNBC about the Epstein files, they're giving you the timeline. I don't think they're telling you, Biden and all these other people, Kamala, everybody could have been pushing the issue and putting this information out, but they didn't. I don't think they're saying that. I think they're just starting it from Trump saying it and not doing it. I don't think they're having a full conversation. And, and not everybody's focused on media like that. Everybody's focused on the news that much. But of the ones that know, come on, man. It is what it is. If you know what it is, and you're still, and that's why, man, I got tired of the progressives and there's no good guys. The only good guys are the people that are willing to go up the hill by themselves and to eat what they kill and not try to eat yours. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to stab you in the back and steal your food. That's what they do. They cutthroat, man. They cutthroat and they have no ethics. They know damn well they weren't talking about it for 4 years. They know damn well. So all the channels, all of them talking now, were they talking a year ago? No. Because it was benefiting Trump. So they would never talk about it. And now that it hurts Trump, now they singing. Now they sound like Mariah Carey. They're up there like Whitney Houston. Oh, Whitney could sing. They're up there singing like Whitney. They're up there doing Denise Williams. Butterfly, butterfly. They singing now. Butterfly. You know what I'm saying? Always and forever. Each morning with you. They up there doing the Earth, Wind, and Fire joint. Them notes I could never hit. Philip Bailey jump. Now they singing like that, fam. But they all had laryngitis on the bottom. Yeah, man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But see, that's why you come to the Tim Black Show. I feel the same way I felt about it then. All the names should be released. I don't give a damn. Redact the victims' names. Ain't that hard. Ain't that hard. One of my first jobs, I worked as a contractor at the Department of Justice. Saw redacted documents all the time. Help build databases of trial exhibits. That was part of my job. And I'm trying to tell you, you see redacted documents all the time. All they got to do is redact the damn victims' names. That's it. And put that out. Nobody said put out pictures. People keep using words like, well, you don't want to put out the prawn. We can't put out the prawn. Of course not, goofy. Stop gaslighting people. I ain't say put out pictures. You could put out lists. All right, let's keep going, Johnson. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Don't go easy on them. Don't be nice. Don't fall in line. This is one of those rare incidents. This is a rare instance when both parties are visibly, obviously wrong. Okay? Republicans are wrong if they're giving Trump a pass. Democrats are wrong for pointing out that Trump is wrong because they were wrong a minute ago. Okay? So this is one of those rare instances where I get to say, ha ha, got him. Next. The gift that keeps on giving.
Today, Charlie Kirk joined the growing chorus of right-wing podcast bros complaining about Trump's lack of transparency about the Epstein files, just hours after the president called them past supporters and weaklings falling for what he called a Democratic hoax.
You know what I find interesting, folks? I find it very interesting that people like Charlie Kirk, who is a horrific race-baiting, disgusting, anti-black, corrosive little Nazi boy. But he got more ethics than a lot of the Democratic or liberal type folks because he'll call out Trump. Yeah, he'll call out Trump. You should have seen the hemming and hawing and beating around the goddamn bush liberals and progressives were doing under Biden for similar things. But you see it, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. How many of them went to bat against Biden? Dropping bombs, messing up, dropping bombs, donating to this, doing that. Repeated things that were against what they say they stood for, what they say they stood for. And they weren't willing to do what Kirk is doing. In this time, in this moment, right now. Yeah, they was all self-serving. Yeah, okay, fine. Who cares? I don't care about his motivation. What I'm saying is he's going against the president from his party. Democrats rarely do that. Rarely do that because they will make up excuses not to. They'll take the Fifth Amendment. They'll plead the Fifth.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, Democrat of Texas, serves on the Judiciary Committee, where Democrats are calling for Attorney General Pam Bondi to testify about Epstein. She joins me now. Well, Congresswoman, what do you make of all this?
I mean, it's interesting to hear the right explain why it is that they want to hear. I want to hear because clearly you got something to hide, Mr. President. So that's why I want to hear. I want the swamp, right, to be drained, okay? Listen, let me use their...
It was funny. She didn't want to hear when Biden was president. Biden been in Washington for 40 years. Biden knew a lot of people. So did Hillary, so did the Obamas. The guys have been dead that long. I don't remember Miss Smiles here, Miss Chuckles. I don't remember her having any smoke at all when it was time to have smoke about it. She just said, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I was just saying about Pramila Jayapal. Same thing. Here goes Jasmine Crockett. Kikiing. But she wasn't kikiing when it was Biden. Quiet. Church mouse. Pissing on cotton in the church. Now, smiling, laughing, just having a good old time because it's all about politics. She don't give a damn about ethics. She don't care about the truth. She don't care about them kids. She don't give a damn about them children, them women, those little girls, them young women. She don't give a damn about that. She just cared about getting a slot, getting on Jimmy Fallon's show, being a stand-up Congress comedian. That's it. That's all it ever been for her. This is a gig for her. She want to own a lawyer show. She want to be like Judge O'Brien. That's the point. That's what you're trying to do.
Their language. We know that he had this ongoing relationship with Epstein. They were basically like besties. We know that there are allegations that a lot of the recruitment took place down at Mar-a-Lago. We know that there are even young ladies that said that they were sexually abused and or sexually assaulted. We know that this is someone who has been found liable of sexual abuse by a jury of his peers. So, I mean, this is also a guy who seemingly doesn't really necessarily care if somebody engages in these types of activities. So I know he's got.
Man, I hope the Diddy stuff come out. That's why I had to let Diddy go. Let my Diddy go. Look, they had to let the diddler go. Man, this is something, man. You know, Epstein, he had Clintons over too. Yeah, Clintons were on the plane. John Kerry, I think. I mean, allegedly there was a lot of people. Allegedly there was a lot of people frequenting many things. Yeah.
Something to hide. That's the only reason it's not out there. If this had anything to do with Democrats, baby, it would have been on day one.
See, why didn't the Democrats release it then, if that's the case? If it has nothing to do with Democrats, why didn't the Democrats release it when they had the opportunity, when they were in charge? Chrissy, Chris, you want to be a real journalist for like 2 seconds, maybe? You can go right back to being a hack, but for like 2 seconds. Can you do us a solid and ask a fucking question, dude? Like pretend you aren't, that your soul still exists. Pretend that you, in somewhere in there's still a real news guy. Pretend, man. Humor us. You know what I'm saying? Just for a moment, man. You ain't got to do it long. Ask 1, 2, maybe 2 follow-up questions just to keep the decks clean. My guys, man, just to pretend, man, just to give the audience the impression that maybe MSNBC isn't a total piece of waste, that it's not cow dung and garbage. Just for like a hot second. Let's see, guys. I could be wrong. I have not watched this. Prove me wrong, Chrissy. Prove me wrong, Chrissy. Do it.
Promise would have been fulfilled. But he wanted access to those files, and he wanted to see how bad it looked for him. And unfortunately, after having a glimpse, I think he's decided that he just wants to move on and talk about something else.
So I just want to be clear. By the way, I have no idea. Everything you recited there is true, including the allegation you said there's a woman of age, I should note, who talked about being introduced to Trump by Jeffrey Epstein and then being groped by Trump against, non-consensually. That was reported out, talked to the press and the Guardian. So I want to be clear about that. She was of age. She was, I think, 23 at the time. She was a model. So all those things that you listed there are facts, their association. Him being found liable of what was the term they used? Sexual assault, I guess, in that civil jury. Allegations against him, of course. All of that's established. Well, what you're saying is you think there actually is something. I mean, I have no idea. You think there's something in the file that incriminates him.
I do. Listen, this guy isn't above board. I mean, I think you're kidding yourself.
Yeah, Chris is pathetic, man. You know what, Chris, man, I get it, man. You're a sellout. You're a sellout. I would focus more on you and add you to the list of sellouts, but, it's kind of black focus because we're black and we're focusing on people that are hurting us from a black perspective who are also within our black American group. But if we ever want to make an exception and include white guys, we definitely include you. Because you should be asking her, you've been in Congress for a couple of years. Biden was president. He had access to the files. If you were correct that there are no Democrats, as you put it, though you haven't seen the files, you're positively sure there are no Democrats who would be implicated in these files. Why wouldn't Joe Biden release that information so you guys could win the election? Kid retort. I mean, I'm basic. Product of Prince George's County public school system. Associate's degree from community colleges. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You guys, she's a lawyer and you're whatever you are. You could at least do that well? No, of course not. Of course not. Couldn't at least, get in the realm of that? Because, folks, anybody watching who wants to get into this shit, you ain't gotta be a master's degree. You don't need a bachelor's degree. Hell, you don't even need a high school diploma. All you need is guts. All you need is guts. All you need is guts, courage, and common sense, and not be a sellout. That's all you need. Because the Jasmine Crockett's and the Chris Hayeses, people tired of them. Many Americans are tired of them. Not all of us. Some folks are happy with them, but some of us, more of us, are tired of being lied to by millionaires, because they're all millionaires. Jasmine will be a millionaire soon if she's not yet. Chris is a multimillionaire. He ain't trying to mess up his money. These are greedy bastards who rather lie to the American people, lie to you, lie to me, lie to your kids, lie to your grandparents, lie to everybody, gaslight, scare everybody every other show, every other night, tell them the world is ending, while they sit back. Yeah, the world might end, but I got my money right. Oh, the world's coming to an end. It's like Nazi Germany. It's like Nazi Germany, baby.
If you believe that he is. So no, I absolutely believe that if he thought for just 2 seconds he could hurt anybody but himself, then absolutely we would have the files. And so it does look a little murky. I think it is why the Democrats are all on board, because, you know, this is a guy who has made his own admissions. If you remember the tape where he talked about groping women, right? So, you know, honestly, I think that his loyalists will stay with him regardless. This is a guy who said he could go out and kill somebody and they would still be with him. So I'm sure they would come up with an excuse for why it's okay for him to maybe be involved in the Epstein files.
You know what? I don't think that's the flex you think it is, Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, you know what? I took it. You could take it that way, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I can understand why you would take it that way. But I looked at it a little differently. What I took from when he said I can shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and still get elected, I took that to mean that you guys suck so badly, that the American people are so tired of your bullshit, that the Democratic Party's brand is so burnt beyond recognition. They'd have to examine DNA evidence to see that you guys even exist as a party. That you guys have gone so far over the deep end, past the deep end, to the point of no return, that there's nothing he can do to lose if you couldn't cheat enough. You have to cheat a whole lot. You have to stage a pandemic, maybe allegedly. Yeah, I think that's how I took it. But you know, honestly, I guess it's a tomato. You know, to each his own. How you want to look at it? Yeah, I look at it like your party sucks more. And I think he's right, because he got elected twice.
But they want to know about everybody else. They believe that there's so many Democrats that are in this, and that's why it is that they want to see it. But it's interesting, while they are taking away health care, while they are taking away farmers' access to be able to do what they do, which is to make money, while they
take away access for farmers to do what they do to make money. You mean exploit workers and underpay Americans? Oh, okay. Of course, she's talking about undocumented immigrants. She never could be talking about Black Americans, because her district's largely Latino. All this sister girl shit, and she ain't even in the Black district. Black people, we gotta wake up, man. We gotta be able to see a Trojan horse. You gotta see a Trojan horse when it's coming and know exactly what they on. You know what I'm saying? This cartoon character is not it. All right, let's keep going.
Are getting rid of people's food access. And while inflation is on the rise, and while this tariff war is not reducing anybody's prices for anything, it's amazing that this is the thing that has stirred them up. But I'm going to let them stir. Stir.
I should note that the civil jury found sexual abuse was the finding of that civil jury. I want to play for you what the committee chair of Judiciary, Jim Jordan, was saying about the possibility of bringing some of the relevant principals here, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel.
This guy really is going to continue the conversation without even saying it for 1 second. Hey, you know, Biden had those files. This guy's actually, and you know, Chris Hayes, he looks like a little nerdy dude, but he's like 6'2". He's in his mid-40s, maybe older than that. He's not some Doogie Howser mo. He look like a Doogie Howser mofo, but he's not. You know what I'm saying? He's a grown-ass man with kids and a wife and a house and a life. And he acts the way he's projecting this, oh gosh, just bullshit. It's not true. But worse than that, man, it's that he's not even trying to pretend to do any anchor work, any news business work here. I mean, he let her just talk, and it's like they tag teaming on roasting Trump. That's it. It's not nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. Yeah, man, we covered the Access Hollywood tapes 10 years ago when they were, you know, exposed. About to grab them, it's like the greatest hits of everything Trump ever did. Just to extend time on the segment and not say anything about the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? It's like, instead of Chris Hayes and MSNBC, instead of at least entertaining the real substance around the Epstein files, instead of what they did was they spent the whole time letting Jasmine Crockett bring up everything bad about Trump that didn't really have anything to do with Epstein. Access Hollywood tapes had nothing to do with Epstein. E. Jean Carroll, the lady who sued Donald Trump for a one-time incident and a supposed that Trump denies in a Bergdorf department store clothing room, change room. Nothing to do with the Epstein files. Okay? Nothing. Anything pertinent about the Epstein files, they left out. He just let Jasmine Crockett talk about anything. Everything else is throw stuff against the wall. And like I said, man, his credibility should be shot, man. But this is what it takes to be a great journalist working for a primetime cable news organization.
Before that Judiciary Committee to explain themselves. Take a listen.
I have complete confidence in President Trump and his team. We've been working on this prior to this whole Epstein issue this last week and a half. But there's an annual trek that the Attorney General, and you know this, Chris, the Attorney General and the Deputy Director make to Capitol Hill in front of the Judiciary Committee.
So it sounds like he's going to wait until that annual testimony, but they are going to have to come and talk to your committee at some point.
I guess. I mean, listen, Chris, we are in month 7. You know, like I know, that we are on recess in August. So we got about 3 months, right? I mean, you know, they're not rushing to come and see us. And I wonder why. They seem to always be a little intimidated, specifically in judiciary, when it comes to judiciary Dems and how it is that we are able to frame our questions and get information out.
On the Judiciary Committee, we'll see.
Yeah. All right, guys. Moving on here. Moving on. I don't know what else to say, man. I think I said everything I needed to say. It's disappointing, but it's to be expected. Yeah, disappointing, but it's to be expected. Really not shocked. But he could have threw us a bone. He could have asked a serious question. But see, there you go now. There we go. There goes the segment. MSNBC compare that to CNN, who made Pramila Jayapal explain herself. All for that in there. You know, something. The Democrats are hoisting up Jasmine Crockett to the detriment, to their own detriment, but also, I think, to make black people look foolish. So I got a real issue with it. That's why I got an issue, particularly with her, because I feel like it is it's a scheme, like a Ponzi scheme to set us up. Next. Where are we here, Johnson? Oh, shit. How long is this?
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Yeah, Roland Martin. He's dancing about the group of people that he really supports. Yeah. Just paying homage to the true group that he supports. And I respect that. I mean, I think more Democrats should be very obvious, very honest, be an open book about their undying support for undocumented immigrants. I think that's their primary voting block. And he hopes that they will help them win an election. Get it, Roland. Imagine.
Next.
Imagine being that unaware of thyself. He thought he was killing it. Okay.
On deck with Tim Black.
Also, I want to respond to you saying that I was hyperbolic when I talked about a reign of terror.
Because that is hyperbolic.
No, it might be hyperbolic for you as a white man.
Oh, okay.
It's certainly not hyperbolic for me as a Latino.
now.
No, I'm not being racist.
It's incredible to dismiss my opinion for being a white man.
No, I'm not
is
dismissing
racist.
your opinion. I am telling you that what the Latino community, the brown community in America.
Speak in one voice.
Okay, well, let me speak with my voice. I mean, you said I was being hyperbolic. Let me respond.
Racially, sure.
I'm not. You being a white man as an insult?
When you invoke it to dismiss my
being
opinion,
a white man as an insult?
When you invoke it,
Do you think Latinos are living under circumstances that other people may not be right now in this country?
We're about to have a whole conversation about that very thing. But I just want to make a point that.
To the rescue, Abby Phillips to the rescue. Yeah. Say it, man. Say it.
All she's saying is that her view of the situation is different from yours. I don't think that's an insult.
She basically said I'm wrong because I'm a white man.
She just said I see it. She said I see it differently from you, which is not an insult. It's not, and it's also not a racial insult.
It's also not an explanation why I'm wrong.
But we have a lot more to discuss on this very topic, so we'll have some time in it.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
That's pathetic, man, when you got to make me defend the white guy. Nah, man, if you say, hey, you wouldn't see it as this because you're not black, you know. My thing is this, or Anna Navarro said you wouldn't see it my way. You said I was hyperbolic. And that's because you're a white guy. You don't know what I'm going through. That's brown people. And the whole time I'm looking at it, I'm thinking to myself, hey, you're both white. Anna Navarro, you are a white Latino. You look like a white person. Until you talk, you know what I'm saying? I think you're white. Now, unlike some who have done a good job of not talking with a heavy accent, you got a heavy accent. Not all Latino people who are brown, you don't look brown to me like a white person. In fact, you guys look like you could be related. I'm serious, man. Like, I don't see much difference between these two people, man. I'm sorry, Johnson. I know she wants to make it like that. Is there really that much difference? I mean, really, is there a difference, really? Of course, she's louder. But I'm talking about how they look. I mean, that's where racism comes in, right? Till someone starts talking. And Anna Navarro is Latino. I forget where she's from. People always correct me, I always forget. She's from somewhere in Latin America. Could be Cuban, I don't know. But I know she ain't a white woman. But see, that's the thing with the Democrats. Now they're trying to make Latino folks, they want to frame that Latino folks are the new discriminated group. Yeah, black people, we never finished fixing anything for black people. Hell, we never even really started. What we did do is take their votes, and thank you very much, blacks, appreciate you. And now they moved on over to the next one. They done moved on from the blacks. Black America, you're an afterthought. You're just something. They used to deal with you, now they don't. You're done. That's it. I've been telling you, I've been screaming this shit for 5 years. I got people bringing up stuff, man, that was 5 years ago. I've been on this for 5 years. I painstakingly built a new audience. Some people wanted to stay because they loved the Tim Black Show, but that took a long time to change. I changed my point of view. I looked at it differently. I said, I'm not going to go back to the progressives where they try to ignore blackness, where they want to have every other conversation and promise you somewhere around the way they get around to helping black people without making them to focus on anything. But the new rules is, the new game in town is Latinos. It's nothing new, man. People have been talking about this. And Anna's playing right into it. And what does Abby do? Abby not a black American, man. Her family from somewhere else, can't you tell? No real connection to blackness. And that's the way they like it. And if you want to be successful in the media game, they prefer you to be that way. Or you got to be like Emmanuel Ocho. Or you got to be like RG3. You understand what I'm saying? That's really what they want. Or you got to have your head so far off the Democratic Party ass like D.L. Hughley that there is no daylight between them and you. Get what I'm saying? That's the only way this works for you. If you give a damn at all about black America, they get rid of you. That's why Tiffany Cross is jumping out the gym. We'll talk about it later. She's jumping out the gym about Latinos, not about us. Not about us. We're the homeless way to black Americans in the same state that they're complaining about, California, Florida. Let's focus on California. In California, we're 38% of the homeless rate and 8% of the population. And what's Tiffany Cross going crazy about? 2% of Latinos that have been, not even 2% of Latinos have been affected in California who have been marked for detention or deportation. Not even 2%. I need to get a hard number on that. Dog, I would say it's less than 1% of Latinos have actually been physically been affected by this. 1%, less than 1% of California Latinos. Basically ain't deported nobody really. Meanwhile, 38% of the homeless rate in California are black Americans. And when I say California, I mean Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles. And this is what they're jumping out the gym about. So what I'm saying is, this Anna Navarro, this segment is a very clear indication of what I've been saying, folks. I just hope people listen. I can't make you listen. All I can do is give you the information. You want to attack me. You want to say I'm the one being divisive. That's just because you're not. I'm not. This show ain't for you, and neither am I. There's a lot of other people talking about a lot of other things. We gonna keep it real on the Tim Black Show. You understand what I'm saying? So, Anna Navarro, I don't see much daylight between you and that white guy. And as I pointed out before, I don't think many other people with eyesight do either. You're both like white people. And I know you got different ancestry, I get it, but what I'm saying is, when the cops see you, Anna, this is what they see, Anna. And I know there are Latinos that are as dark as me. They don't get to make it, do they? In your country, what do? They work the back of the house. They wash the dishes. We know the deal about how racist, and not racist against Latinos, y'all racist against black Latinos. I know, man, I had Ada Rodriguez on the show. Used to be a good friend of mine. Well, not a good friend of mine. She was a good associate, frequent associate. We were friends, we still be friends. Don't use that word lightly. But we had this conversation. So, yeah. But yeah, no, Anna, you're a white lady. You white lady. You know?
Basically said I'm wrong because I'm a white
she
man.
just said I see it. She said I see it differently from you, which is not an insult. It's not, and it's also not a racial insult.
It's also not an explanation why I'm wrong.
But we have a lot more to discuss on this very topic, so we'll have some time in
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah,
Tim
man.
Black's BS detector. Next on deck with Tim Black.
Andres, what about the criticism of ICE facilities when you hear people say that, people are being held in cages, that these are barbaric detention centers? You work in that part of the system. What do you say?
Well, I can attest to that firsthand. We don't have cages in the detention center. We have bunks, we have beds, warm showers, and there's tablets in each individual dorm. I don't refer to them as jails. They're dorms, they're dormitories. The detainees there, I visit them almost twice a week, perhaps, and the accommodations that are given to them are very interesting because they get tablets. They get tablets that allows them to connect with their families, with their relatives. Phone calls. There's plenty of phones there available for them to use. Like my colleague said, they get 3 meals a day. We even go as far as to try to accommodate certain diets that the detainees in our custody request. To debunk that statement about cages, I can tell you right now, we have no cages at our detention centers, nor have I ever seen a cage in one of our detention centers.
Let me ask you this, Paul. President Obama, when you look at the numbers, deported more people from the country than President Trump.
Next on deck.
Yeah, we already know. No one cares. Trump is the Antichrist. That's the memo. Look, man. We've been talking about this extensively on the channel, about the disparity between what they, I don't know what to say, man. I've had people that have spent some time inside of a incarcerated former inmates, and they're like, man, look how big those mattresses are. There's some padding in those mattresses, man. It's people that could see and know. You know what I'm saying? I thought they said that people didn't get a chance to call home, that they were, what's the word for it? They were disappeared. Disappeared people don't get tablets, do they? Hard to be disappeared if you got a tablet and can contact people using the internet. Just seems a little wild, you know what I'm saying? To make these claims that people are being disappeared when you give them internet access. You can't disappear somebody and then give them a live stream. Let's keep going, Johnson. It is what it is. Jesus Christ.
With Tim Black.
All that reputational damage that's being done as they're sitting there on horses with American flags running through soccer fields, scaring kids that are playing soccer in the middle of the day at a summer camp. For what? Just toughness. It's a weakness masquerading as strength. That's what I don't like about this son of a bitch. I don't. And forgive me, I know he's the president of the United States. Forgive me, I didn't, yeah, he calls me new scum. Come on. How do I explain that to my kid? Now I have my kids' friends calling my kids new scum. That I get, because I was called that in 7th grade, but not by a 79-year-old. Model better goddamn behavior, man. Forgive the goddamn.
Next on.
Oh, come on, guy, man. Come on. Hold on a second here. Jesus Christ.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Imagine your complaint being that somebody calls you out of your name only for you to curse them out. Only for you to curse them out multiple times and making your point. He called you new scum. What he does, he makes up names for people. Like, I called you new scum too. Because it's so easy. It's lazy. If anything, you could say that's a lazy name. I've been called that since I was in junior high. And only, you're a grown-ass man. Do better. Come up with something more original. It's what you should say. But to curse them out like you're really fake upset, and your kids have heard people say much worse things about you, like cheating-ass scumbag might be something they call you. Because isn't that what you got caught doing? With like somebody who was a friend of yours on your campaign or something? You had to admit it in front of the whole fucking... He had to admit that in front of the whole world. I wonder if your kids have the internet connection. That's out there. I think that's probably it or the worst. And maybe Trump's calling you new scum because of that situation, which would be, for him, hypocritical as hell. You know, if anything, you're both tied in that regard. Oh, man. You know what, man? If Newsom was an actual guy that was genuine and real, then I could take his criticism to heart. You know, if he was real. If he doesn't engage in petty stuff, but it's hard to get on his side when he's up there cursing out Trump his damn self. I mean, you're doing the same thing without any creative punches. At least he's flipped the name. You just called him a SOB and some others. Come on, man. And then try to act like you're the nice guy. I don't know. Like you're the one with sense, with common sense and ethics and morals or something. And that's just, it's not working. That's all. It's not working. Yes, it's childish but it gets publicity, it gets airplay, and that's all they care about. That's all Trump cared about. And it's part of his brand at this point. He's gonna stop because it's you. Do your kids know do your kids know what he said to Ted Cruz? How about Chris Christie? He just makes up stuff. I mean, come on, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Daddy calls you new scum. But I get it. You say my kids are being teased at school. Because the other kids are calling them the same name. You know what? I got a feeling if they have your last name, they were going to be called Newscomb at some point. I don't know, man. Oh, Tim, that's not right. We have a difference of opinion. That's all. I think Gavin Newsom is a scumbag. That's what I think. And got a hard time feeling bad about him. Having any difficulty with something as petty as this. Now, if somebody does something, if he gets, put in harm's way, you know what I'm saying, physically, him and his family, then I'd be upset. But name calling, come on, man. That's what they do. Come on. How about you say you can't stand him for his policy and name those policies that are horrific? That would have made more sense to me than you going personal, like, I don't like him because he called me Newscomb. Come on, man. But you heard, Democrats got the memo that their people say they don't fight hard enough. And I guess them feeling like he going to take somebody outside or something, like he's a tough guy. Like, they want that apparently from their people now. Not literally fighting for issues, but just fighting for fighting's sake. Not fighting to make your life better, but just acting the part. The veneer, the show, the performance. To me, it's lame. All right, folks, please hit the like button. Let the algorithm know that you watch the Tim Black Show. We do this 5 days a week. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday. Right here on Tim Black Show. 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Become a member of the show. Go to jointimblack.com. Order your mug at timblackmug.com and pick up your merch at timblackpoles.com. We got everything from, we got a cool ass apron. I got any chefs in the building? Any chefs? I got a cut the check apron that's killing them. I got a Wolfpack apron that's killing them. Go do that today at timblackpaws.com. All right. We're getting towards the end here, man. Well, got a little ways to go.
On deck with Tim Black.
I do think the panic over this report today is unwarranted, but I do think data is worth watching every month.
But it's not.
But it's it seems like a lot of panic for no reason. You're getting matched reports every month.
It's not panic when we were promised on August 15th of last year that the price of eggs, that the price of bacon, and the price of apple.
69%.
Actually, eggs year over year are up by 20. Are up 27%.
They're down.
I'm
Since
sorry.
he took office, they're down.
But if year over year,
All right.
He promised when he took office they would go down.
Hold on. Let's not fight about statistics here. She's right. Year over year, they are up significantly. Month over month, they've gone down, but that's from their high, which occurred partly due to bird flu and other things.
Right.
So
let's be very clear. He promised three things: the price of eggs, the price of bacon, and the price of apples were going to go down. I can quote him. It was on August 15th of last year. He said they're going to go down almost immediately when I become president. All of them are up. They're up year over year, and that's a fact. And these, you think it's hysteria or whatever you called it. People are suffering. You know how I know this? Because I heard all about that from you last year when I would debate you, and you kept talking about how the price of eggs is really high. Well, guess what? It's much higher now than it was when you and I were debating.
We're literally lying about the
Wait,
eggs.
excuse me.
They're up.
No, whoa.
Eggs are down.
Guys, stop. Okay, Scott, before
Scott?
you accuse her of lying, I literally just went over this. She is correct that year over year, the
Since
price...
Donald Trump took office, what happened
Scott,
to the eggs?
Oh, my God. Do you not understand that the difference between...
Who was the president last year at this time?
Scott, do you understand?
And then when did they spike?
Julie, let me just
come down?
resolve this so we can move on because this is a silly conversation.
You totally derailed this conversation. She's trying to have a serious panel.
You are derailing the conversation.
No, I'm not.
Pardon me.
She's not telling the truth about the eggs.
But you're derailing the conversation, okay? I think people have the ability to understand the difference between the price of eggs today and the price of eggs a year ago today versus what you would prefer to talk about, which is the price of eggs when Donald Trump was inaugurated. You're just talking about
his policies?
You're talking about two different time horizons. Okay? Let's just leave it at that and move on. Please, continue.
They made it higher than it was when
Continue,
Joe
Chair
Biden was
Michael.
president.
Want people who are suffering right now.
Hold on a second, guys. I'm not even gonna. The price of eggs is lower than it was when Biden was in office, and somehow that's not good. We remember those prices were higher, they're lower. But since they're not lower than they've ever been, it's not good. All right, let's go. I don't know, man. It just sounds like a bunch of craziness. Speaking of crazy, I don't know why. I don't know what this is. Tiffany Cross. Let's go, Johnson. Everybody get ready, get locked and loaded. Here we go. This will be more worthwhile responding to. I guess I'm running out of gas. I need to get a sponsorship for this stuff. I do, man, because I want to use it on camera because clears the streets. You guys ready? All right, let's go. Come on, Tiffany, give me all you got.
People who cannot pay their mortgage, people who have been separated from their families, people who are sitting in deportation camps, concentration camps, foreign and domestic. Those people do not want to see people. It is. I'm
Jewish, and it is not offensive. It's not. It's not a death
camp. I get 1,000 texts. People do not.
It's not a death. I imagine 1,000. I honestly wish they were more offended by the action of this administration. I wish they were more offended by the action of this administration instead of my language. They should focus on something more important than what I call it, and focus more on what's actually happening to people who are getting disappeared by a government agency. And none of us should ever normalize that like it's something rational to do. My point is this entire asinine scene of people playing cartoons. No, I won't get the logic of disappearing people, Scott. And I hope that you don't get it.
Chair Michael, your point.
I can't believe you're minimizing people being disappeared by the government.
Go ahead, Chair Michael.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Man, must be nice to live in your own world where you get to offend the hell out of the Jews. Jewish people should be pissed off, but you know what, guys? It's not. I was looking at us like, why am I upset that she did this? I shouldn't be upset about it, man. Am I a humanitarian? I guess I am. But here goes, man. I got 5 things. 5 things, guys, to bring this whole Tiffany Cross thing down. so that people can understand why it's a problem. Because I know maybe some people are watching like, Tim, come on, man. You shouldn't care about this. If the Jewish lady was happy with detention centers where people have tablets and foam mattresses and 3 square meals a day, if she didn't have a problem with that being called a concentration camp where they say millions of Jewish people were killed, then you shouldn't. Here goes 5 reasons why I got a problem with it. It dilutes the historical trauma. Yeah, that's right, guys. Calling detention centers concentration camps risks equating them to the Holocaust or slavery, minimizing the unique suffering of Black ancestors and others. Folks, when you minimize the Holocaust, you're right around the corner to minimizing slavery. They're right around the corner, same thing. What I'm saying is, if you can minimize one horrific situation, one horrific historical event, right? For what's next? What's next? We already know what's next. Hell, we were first. Did Kanye just do this? I don't know. We hear it all the time for the same reasons I get upset when people say, "Oh man, I'm working like a slave." You're getting paid. So that's number one. Don't dilute historical trauma. Why you got to compare anything to anything? Just call it what it is. You don't like the conditions? Say horrible conditions, a shithole. I don't know. You don't have to use concentration camps. It gives you a certain picture, and all I see are emaciated Jewish people with crew cuts being marched off to death. That's what I see, and that is all to manipulate the watcher, the viewer. It's to manipulate you into a lie, because that's not what's happening. Number 2, performative over substance. The term feels like a shock tactic to stir outrage. It sidelines real issues like Black incarceration or underfunded schools. See, when you blow this thing up, when you blow up the fact that Latinos are in detention centers, and you say they're like concentration camps, it sucks all the oxygen out the room, and you almost forget that we got 1 million Black people sitting in jails that are much worse. Because you've been over here lying about how supposedly horrific this detention center is. The exaggeration of this situation dims the light on all the other shit that's happening. Number 3, it alienates allies. The exaggerated, the distorted comparisons offends potential allies. What I mean by that is people that could give a shit won't. And I guess I don't know if that's a good point for me, but maybe for you, maybe it's why other Democrats are not co-signing. Like, you got this one person here, but you know what I haven't heard? I haven't heard many other people come out. I haven't heard many other people defend her. I haven't heard many other people use the same terminology. I covered Debbie Wasserman Schultz from Representative of Florida, and she didn't use that language. She just said bad place, bad conditions. She didn't use concentration camp because she actually has, she is not a CNN contributor. She's actually a representative that has constituents who are actually Jewish. Yeah, it's a heavy Jewish population in Florida. And if she said that, she might not get reelected. But Tiffany Cross, who's not elected to anything, can say whatever she wants to say. Get it? Doesn't mean she's right. Just means that's what the Dems wanted to do, to jump out the gym and act crazy. They need a Jasmine Crockett on CNN, and now they got one. You don't have to make sense. You just have to make headlines. 4, it pushes the victimhood narrative. It frames migrants as helpless victims via the concentration camp. undermines black values of resilience and agency. So if they're the victims of this horrific thing that's happening, and we say, hey, what about black issues? Now all of a sudden black issues carry no weight because we got these people that are on fire, literally being put to death on fire. That's not happening, but that's what happened in concentration camps. Now, folks, I've said this analogy before. Walk with me. If you're a fireman, you driving a fire truck, you got firemen, you got fire utilities, you have what you need on board to stop fires, to put out fires. If you pull into a street and it's a neighborhood, and it's across this, you see two houses, one house is on fire, the other house, no fire. Which one are you gonna put the fire out on? You're gonna go to the house with fire, right? Right? That's what you do. That's what you're there to do, to fix fires. Well, what if the house that's on fire, it's not really on fire, it's got an elaborate film machine that makes fake smoke. Maybe they got some fireworks going off in the back, and they got a grill hooked up, and they got, like, I don't know, fake filming situation, like a studio, like something out of the Tyler Perry film studios. Heard 50 Cent's got a new film studio. What if that's what's going on? And the actual fire is across the street. You're saying outside the house yet. It's inside. Now, all of a sudden, they have manipulated the firemen who came there to put out the fires. And that, my friends, is how I see this whole thing. That's why I say it's a bad thing. Because, see, black folks, you ain't seeing the fire. It's inside the house. Okay? This is where the fire people really need to go. Over there in the blacks. Over there where we got all the homeless people. Over there where it's 38% of the homeless people in Los Angeles, in LA, and under Mayor Bass are black Americans, not Latinos, not undocumented migrants, but black Americans. And only 8% of the population. But instead, they're being told, oh, we got these people that are being put in ovens. And you get there are no ovens. There are no people in them. If there are ovens, they're cooking cookies. They're making cookies. They're making lunch. And people sitting there on their tablets, eating on their bunk, chilling, FaceTiming with their kids. Last but not least, number 5, selective outrage. Crosses focus on immigration over black specific issues, like mass incarceration, feels like liberal hypocrisy. She's ignoring our community's priorities. Now, what she's doing also is picking up a paycheck. And I'm not going to knock her for wanting to do that. Hell, I want to do that. I want to pick up paychecks too. We have to want to pick up paychecks because we want to live. We got to live in this capitalistic society. I'm not knocking her for picking up a paycheck. But see, I don't pick up paychecks like this. I have a community. I have a thing I stand for. And what I stand for is advocating on the real shit. So I must make it an issue because it is an issue. If it's not an issue, my people let me know. My people will tell me. But when you're performative like this and you overshadow black issues, that becomes a problem for me. It particularly becomes a problem because this is the person of the Native Pod. The Native Podcast about black Americans, somehow Native Pod. And what's she doing? What's she getting her bones for? Now that she's back on the mainstream, fighting for immigrants. You can't make this shit up. So when she needed to climb back from obscurity after getting terminated, and she said because she was fighting for blacks so hard. Now you was fighting for the Democrats so hard. Use black people to do that, and what do you do? The first thing out the gate, you jump back in CNN, and it's all about the poor, undocumented people. Chicago has to fire Chicago is firing 500 teachers. I'm not saying you pick the topics at CNN, but we need to focus more on the 500 teachers that are being fired in Chicago than focus on the non-existent concentration camps in Florida. All right. We're almost to the end, Johnson. Hit the like button if you thought that segment made sense. 5 reasons why Cross needs to cross her fingers and hope she don't get fired again.
Tim Black's BS detector.
No one else
Ask a
really
random
mentioned.
Republican to tell name 3 policies they like. When you see, like, respectfully, when you see lazy reporters out here asking people, well, why did you vote for Donald Trump? And they say, I like his policies.
You said respectfully. Man, now, is it possible she lost her job just because she's a very abrasive person? Is that possible? Can you just be an abrasive jackass with very little redeeming qualities? Is it possible that's what got her, I mean, really, she just said that no one asked, these journalists are lazy. I don't know, just seems a little weird.
Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
No one else
Ask a
really
random
mentioned.
Republican to tell name 3 policies they like. When you see, like, respectfully, when you see lazy reporters out here asking people, well, why did you vote for Donald Trump? And they say, I like his policies. You rarely see a follow-up. You rarely see them say, well, name a policy that you like. Tell me what it is you liked about him. Because they know, I know, they are incapable of answering it. Every single time
I think that what's
the ones I've talked to and the ones I've seen, they're
here,
incapable of answering
what's missing here from
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS.
Man, Michael Singleton, man, you need to get in there, buddy. Get in there. Man, look, folks, as someone who's covered Democrats and Republicans for a number of years, man, I can tell you, man, Trump supporters are more focused on policies than Democrats ever were. Liberals not focused on policy at all. They couldn't tell you shit that Biden did or that Biden was trying to do or what his policy was. They can't tell you shit that Kamala was running on. What was she running on? Name it. Quick. Republicans or MAGA supporters know exactly why they voted for Trump. They voted for Trump because of immigration, economy, immigration, and wars. Those are 3 things off the top of the head that are very easy, very simple. There is not a single MAGA that couldn't tell you that shit. Not a single one. It's like obvious. He was against the Ukraine war. He was hitting Biden every day about Afghanistan withdrawal, how it was sloppy as hell. Okay, then he was talking about the economy and how you guys were horrible stewards of the economy. Spend, and the money was going out the window. That's why Doge was created. And then we got the immigration. And you mean to tell me you ain't know that? And she's talking like she knows what she's talking about. She's talking like she's trying to prove a point. She's talking like she really believes that people don't have those 3 go-tos. Bam, 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 like that. Like it's only me, like I'm some magician or something. Folks, everyone knows they know that thing. Trump won his primary 3 times in a row. He has never changed from those 3 topics. He ran on immigration reform. He ran on the border wall, build the wall. Come on, man. One thing Trump has done, you ain't got to like him, but you got to admit, he been crystal clear about what he said he was going to do. That's why he's done so many executive orders off the break, because he knew exactly what he was going to do. He was very open about it. He was very communicative about it. His people know exactly what. And you know what? The fact that there are MAGA supporters who are pissed as shit at Trump right now over Epstein, to me, there's no clear sign that the coat is really the Democrats. There are Republicans and there are MAGA supporters. First of all, MAGA supporters, those are Trumpers, really, really Trump followers. There are MAGA people thinking about dumping him now over Epstein. Biden never had a real following because he never really stood for anything. A lot of people that voted for Biden would have voted for any Democrat. He just happened to be the one that was there, right? But then when his policies suck and Kamala was talking about doing the same ones, she basically lost the race from the word go. She has no separation for a guy who was tanking in approval ratings. How you not going to separate yourself from that guy? He stinks. Why would you want to say, I'm going to smell the same way? He stinks. Well, I want to be the same. No. So anyway, the point is, the Democratic Party supporters of Biden, they didn't know what he stood for. And they damn sure. And look, and whatever Kamala was selling, they weren't buying. And let's be clear here, man. Trump won, but Kamala could have won. She couldn't get voters out to vote. Be clear. She lost convincingly. He won all the swing states. But she could have won if she could have got people off the couch and got people interested. The biggest voting bloc are non-voters. The biggest voting bloc are non-voters. You can't blame Trump supporters for choosing Trump. There were people that didn't vote for her because they didn't vote for her. What about those people? What about all the people that did not come out? They weren't excited about her. Case closed, face closed. So that's it. But instead of saying, hey, the Democrats were horrible on messaging, horrible on policy, that border wall thing, the border was a horrible stance to keep the border open for 3.5 years, record of fentanyl deaths, Ukraine, standing behind Israel, that kills you with the progressives. What else would it take? The moderates and the independents were jumping because of your border, and then you got progressives that threw the towel in with the Israel, with Gaza. So I mean, there was no room for error, and she made a lot of them. She could even talk to her friends. You can't have a conversation with Sunny Hostin on The View without putting your foot in your mouth. You can't sit down with Sunny, who's your girl, your friend, and answer simple softball questions. She don't deserve to be president. And you're going to blame Trump supporters for that? That's where they continue to lose. No ownership, no learn, nothing. I know nothing. I know nothing. Well, then, and you get nothing. You win nothing. All right, I think we're done here, Johnson. Let's see. Oh, got one.
Detector.
Almost.
It's fresh because it just happened. But my wife and I.
Folks, first of all, I want to be clear here. When I saw this, I need your help because I thought this was a joke. I need your help. Is this a joke? I would like to hope this is a joke. She's just a damn good actress. Let me know in the comment section below, Johnson. Real talk.
BS detector.
It's fresh because it just happened. But my wife and I just went to the grocery store right by our house, just to buy like junk food and stuff, you know, because we're really tired. Just wanted some sweet treats. And we were walking down an aisle. And
did I hear her wife laugh? Hold on a second here. Sounds like I heard a laugh.
Detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
It's fresh because it just happened. But my wife and I just went to the grocery store right by our house, just to buy like junk food and stuff, you know, because we're really tired. Just wanted some sweet treats. And we were walking down an aisle. And there were like two guys that walked up next to us, you know. Peyton like walked away, my wife walked away for just a second. And they were like snickering to themselves or something. And like I didn't really think much of it. So I'm just looking at the candy aisle trying to decide what candy I want. And he walks by and gets like inches from me and just rips one, like farts like this far from me. That's disgusting to say. I can't even believe I'm having to say this, but he did. And about that time, Peyton walked up, like didn't witness what happened, but like seconds later, and I'm like upset, and I follow after him, and I was like, is there a reason? You were just so disrespectful to me. Called you a man. Come here. And he, I've never felt so dehumanized.
Next on.
I saw this. I don't know what to make of it, Johnson. I don't know what to think. What do you guys think? Is this real? It's not AI. It's not AI. It's too imperfect. Okay, that's one of my cheat codes with AI. AI is too right. Yeah, it doesn't really have the awkward, goofy pauses and stuff. So I think it's a real video. But what I'm saying is it like a skit? Because who would be that upset about someone farting in the store? And how would you even know? You didn't say it stink. You didn't say it smelled like rotten eggs. It sounded like someone died. It smelled like someone died over there in aisle 3. You didn't say any of that. You just said you heard something. Well, they got sound machines. So there's a little, I don't know, like people have little gadgets that make the noise. But folks, I don't know if this is a real video or not. I just, after covering Tiffany Cross and Jasmine Crockett for like 3 segments tonight, I think we need a comedic break. You know what I'm saying? We need to lighten the mood a little bit. Let me know what y'all think, Johnson. Is this real or is this Memorex? Was it real? Look, Octavio says, I don't see no tears, fam. Supreme says, I call bullshit. Yeah, she's a snowflake. Now, Tay said he thinks she's a snowflake. And Buck, he said he used to hold his sister down and fought on her all the time. I fought in your general direction. Monty Python. Someone called it the Dutch oven. That's on the bed with the sheets. Anna said her brother did that too. Now we're just going this. Now you guys are getting away from the video itself. You're talking about your personal experiences with farts. Now I'm trying to get to the bottom of this, do some investigative journalistic work here. Dutch ovens. Come on, man. Try to find out if we can solve it. Oh my goodness gracious, Johnson. BS detector on 10. Arnold says fake news. Someone says bad acting. Cat Negrita. Cat. Bad acting. All right. You know what? Quentin. I'm going to go with Quentin on this one, man. Quentin, shit, where's I don't know which one's which one. Okay.
Full of shit.
Yeah, I think she's full of shit, man. I think she's full of shit. Yeah. Not gonna buy it, Johnson. But it was a nice break from all this stuff we've been talking about. I think I have one more segment. It's short. Maybe it's fun. Let's see.
Deck with Tim Black.
Welcome to IMO. Look at you. How are you?
Wait, you guys like each other?
Oh yeah, really, huh?
That's so
the
nice.
rumor mill. It's my husband, y'all.
She took me back.
Now don't start.
I can't.
It was touch and go for a while.
It's so nice to have you both in the same room together.
I know, because when we aren't, folks think we're divorced.
Let me tell you. First of all, see, I'm in Wichita, Kansas for Austin's tournament. And this podcast has made me quite popular.
You're big
famous.
And people come up to me all the time. This woman came up to me and she was so nice. She's like, can I have a picture? Yeah. And then, so you know how you get the side hug? And she's like, what did he do?
And you knew she was going to say what he knew.
He. And I
You
was
knew,
like,
it wasn't like, what happened to him?
That is so
It was like,
terrible.
how'd he mess up?
how'd he mess up? And I said, well, what makes you think he messed up? Why couldn't it
Well,
been
why
her?
did you just say no one messed up?
Well, because I wanted to keep this conversation going so that I could tell you about it.
Oh, Lord.
I was like, what? And she's like, he did something, didn't he? I was like, don't worry, everything's fine. And let me tell you, she was so happy, you would have thought I gave her a Christmas gift.
These are the kinds of things that I just miss, right? So I don't even know this stuff's going on.
Right.
And then somebody will mention it to me, and I'm all like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting my man. And we've had some really hard times, but we have had a lot of fun times, a lot of adventures, and I have become a better person because of the man I'm married to.
Okay, don't make me cry now. Right at the beginning of the show.
Oh, that's sweet.
Don't let me start tearing up now.
And welcome to IMO.
Welcome to IMO. Get you all teared up. See, but this is why I can't talk. See, you can take the hard stuff, but when I start talking about the sweet stuff, you're like, stop, no, I can't do it.
I love it. I'm enjoying it.
But thank you, honey, for being on our show. Thanks for making the time. We got, as
you guys
Craig
are doing
said, we
good.
got a great
Of course, I've been listening.
Yeah. What? Any tips? Any observations?
Craig can tighten up a little bit. You're doing great.
Thanks, honey.
Hey,
that's why we're married for.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Yeah, man. This is the best, however long that was, 90 seconds. It's the best 90 seconds of the podcast that I've ever seen. I've covered it a couple times. I think it was good to bring out President Obama and kind of address that issue because people were talking about it. Good job. Good job. Actually, no, it's the second best. The best time I see Michelle, but this is best for her podcast. I see Michelle Obama talk about the death of her mom. I thought that was very touching. It was on another show. So she's had a couple moments, but this is the best moment of her podcast by far. All right. I almost hesitate to play because I don't want black folks falling in love with Obama again. Hopefully we are smart enough to know this because you're a funny guy, gift of gab, charisma, had nothing to do with policy. And if anything, having a gift of gab, having charisma is bad when used for bad results. You know what I'm saying? When used against us. So that's the problem. But yeah, he ain't really missed a step when he's trying to pour it on and be like folksy and all right, come on now. All right now. You know, so but yeah, this is what she needed to do before, I believe. And that's just my opinion about that, I think this is what they needed to do for her and but I don't know, maybe the podcast is doing well. There are a lot of liberals. There are a lot of shows out there that I don't watch that are doing well on Spotify. And maybe this is one of them. I don't know. There's other ones, the Midas Touch and this and that. I don't watch those. And they got a bunch of liberals watch them and they do a lot of money. They do a lot of numbers. So, yeah. I think this is good. You address what people are talking about, put that out there, and it'll probably help you in the numbers game. Just my opinion. I'm sure everybody got opinions about it. I still I'm not a fan of the podcast for a first lady, because what are you going to really talk about? I still think the premise of I'm going to help you with your life, like, you got married to Barack, you guys, I mean, you're a first lady to a president. I mean, I guess that's an accomplishment. Kinda. He kind of overshadows everything else. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really see what you have. What have you done that it's, I don't know. But hey, it's a podcast and some people like it and they just want to live through that, and that's enough. There's enough probably people. There are enough people who feel that way to give numbers. Because she's famous. across the globe. So what is she? I guess she could talk about anything, right? All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section about tonight's show. What did you think? All right, go to timblack.tv.com. That's my website. No one goes there. People go, they find me on social media. You know I got a website, right? You also know I'm a consultant, right? TimBlackConsulting.com is a consulting website. If you want to find out more about me, just go to timblack.com, timbblacktv.com, timbblacktv.com. And we're there, man. It's an open book, baby. All right. I got loads of information. You're missing out. Just picked up a new client. I got room. I got room on the schedule. I could put you, get under the wing, learn a few things. All right, that's it. I'm done. Let's go to comments, fam. Yo. She crying about flatulence. Oh. That was funny. But people like talking about farts, man. And speaking of farts, my 3-year-old granddaughter, she's 3, man, but she's smart, man. She is so smart for 3. And I know people say that. We all say that because we love our kids, right? Everyone's child is so smart. Everybody's a genius. No one ever says, my child dumb as hell. Everybody says their child is smart. But mine really is. Well, she picks stuff up, right? So Mrs. Black and the second oldest granddaughter, named Lonnie, were reading a book, and it's a ducky book or something, a doubler, the doubler or something. I forget. It's a book, little black kid on it. And there was something they were reading in the story where the person was talking about food or eating or something. It said, but you did that, but eat the pickles or but eat something. And the baby heard but eat. The 3-year-old, Nadia, heard her sister say but eat. And she said, it don't eat but. You don't eat but eat. Eat but. And for the next 20 minutes, that's all she could look at it, pop, but eat, but eat. You eat, but ew. I'm like, and you can't explain I couldn't explain to a 3-year-old that when there's a but, there's not but. You know what I'm saying? I just gave up, man. I just gave up. But if it's that, she loves us talking about things you should not do with your butt, and she loves talking about farts. Those are 2 favorite things. And she dies laughing at those things. And I think that never changes. And I'm over here sounding like Barack. She loves talking about those things. Those things, something about them. And when you hear a fart or, butt, you just gotta get in there, because the butt is, you know what I'm saying? I'm serious. Fine, like every show. Thank you, Octavio Morales, my brother. Cecilia Jackson, that's why Black Wall Street was destroyed. Bernardo said, love the show. Thank you, Bernardo. Herschel Reed up in the building. Kids, actually, there it is. I know, fam. Beautiful thing, man. Black Haywood says, Michelle's disappointing. She never speaks of our great history as Black Americans. It's like she's embarrassed to be one of us. Yeah, she don't want to turn off that, she want to turn off that bass. She goes to the school of Oprah Winfrey. Yeah. She know what to do. She want to be the next Oprah, and she don't got much time. She's going to jump straight to the part where she colorblind. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah. Got to get those suburban soccer moms. The white soccer moms is what she's aiming for. There are a lot of those in this country. And if she can get those, yeah. If Obama starts a podcast, we're sure going to have to pack it up. Nah, the podcast already failed. The Burger will make the podcast fail. Yo, man, thank y'all, man. Look, man, y'all the best, fam. Y'all the best. Is she in daycare? Look at that. Man. They got a, yeah, you would call it that. Something like that. All right, folks, none but the greatest to you guys. Love you, man. Thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting the show. Thank you for being a part of the 200,000 celebration of us reaching that, man. I'm trying to tell you, fam, I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
Simply amazing.
Now, that's what I'm talking about, eh? I can rock with that.
I'm still surprised we made it, fam. Someone said, Tim Black, it took you a couple years. It took you years to get to 200,000, from 100,000 to 200,000. Yo, fam, a lot of people never get to 50,000 ever. The percentage of people that succeed in content creation is very small. So, yo, man, don't cry for me, Argentina. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing gifted, nothing promised to anybody. And I was fortunate to get any audience at all. You know what I'm saying? I've been involved in public speaking almost my entire life. So, yeah. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Nothing but the best. I see y'all soon. Remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread. And with that, as we do every show, fam, because this is what's important, man. You got yours, I got mine. We all got family. The same question I ask every night. Where my ladies at? Where are my ladies?